But Honorable Ochieng, so there are all these concerns, and we have had these of Parliament is captured, judiciary is captured, no institution is working. But you, as an elected leader, what would be your role to ensure that some of those concerns, at least there are solutions being sought?
I will answer that question, and then I'll be able to respond to very ridiculous, look, I sit in the budget committee in Parliament today. And what we have done in the upcoming budget is to make provisions in that budget sum for things that will ensure that our people are taken care of in terms of the cost of living. We've made resources available in that budget. We're going to make resources available in that budget for water, business, ways of generally reducing the cost of living for the country. And I'm certain that, in the next 1.5 months, we'll see when that budget comes. Because 2 weeks ago, we passed a supplementary budget, and that was the budget of the other government. And so there's not only so much we could do about it. But I'm certain that in provision of fertilizer, seed, water, and ensuring that places that are far-flung, like Northeastern, that are having problems, are given resources and capacity to ensure that they deal with the ongoing drought and hunger, I think are the areas where we are looking at. The biggest issue here, which must be talked about, Sam, is the insistence on Azimio that you must return the subsidy. That one of the conditions they have is that you must return the maize subsidy. And this is the first time we're talking about this on Citizen TV. The maize subsidy was a scandal, was a con. You can't insist on something that is purely corruption. It's not helping anybody. You can't be paying 5, 6, 8, 10 billion for maize that no one is seeing. And so I'm saying that this government should be given a chance to implement their manifesto. There's no way you're going to ask this government to present this report card in 6 months. It's just not possible. And so I believe that all of us who care for this country should bring the ideas we have on the table and say, this is the way we think it should be done. Let this be discussed. And Sosi and Honorable Manzo here sit with me in Parliament. I've not seen, and let me tell you, now I have a privilege of presiding in Parliament once in a while. Most of the time, the minority side is missing in the House. Where I see in the National Assembly, you'll find Kenya Kwanza has 50, 60 MPs, and the Azimio has 5, 6 MPs on the floor of the House, any one point in time, including the leadership. They come for the short time. They come in and they're given the first 2, 3, 4 minutes, they see what they want to say, walk out. No one leads that side of the government, of the Parliament anymore. And so, if someone tells you that Parliament has been bored or whatever it is, ask him, like we've asked, what are these measures that you proposed? I would imagine where the minority leader in National Assembly would propose and say that this is our alternative budget. Even it's not going to be debated. We did a supplementary budget. I would imagine a situation where the minority presents an alternative report to Ndindi Nyoro's report that this is the budget we thought should have been to help Kenyans lower the cost of living. 2 weeks ago, last week, we presented the budget policy statement in Parliament. Again, this went through all the committees of Parliament. This also went through budget committee. I would imagine that the opposition side would say, the minority side would say that this is your budget policy statement, but this is our own. This is how we want things to be done. Then you go to Mandamano. But if you decide, and this is very important, Sam, these Mandamanos are not about cost of living.
What are they?
They're not about IBC. They're about the insistence after every election of a section of the country of gaining entry to power. Let's agree on this basic principle, that if you went to an election, even if you won by 1, that's why Akotiba talks about 50 plus 1. If the person elected as senator for Makueni only won by 1 vote, he's a senator for Makueni. If the person elected for senator for Vihiga only won by 2 votes, he's a senator for Vihiga. Same for the president, that the Katiba says that you will get 50 plus 1 votes, not 50 plus 1,000. The president of the country today is William Samoei Ruto. He's the president. Now, it doesn't matter how many votes he won with. And it doesn't matter what Raila Odinga thinks his following is. We all submitted ourselves to an election and agreed that we will abide by the result of that election. The elections are behind us. I believe that now is the time to build the economy. This is not the time to start telling us how powerful you are, how people don't know how powerful they're going to see your power. I don't believe that it's right for the Azimio side to use their following to undermine, interfere with the very well-trained process of trying to recover the economy. Sam, what disturbs me most today is the almost personal hatred that that side of politics has against the president. It's almost personal. It's not about the president, it's about the person of the president. They despise him. They believe he shouldn't have won the elections. They believe that he didn't belong. And that has to be stopped. People have to accept the fact that William Ruto is the president of the country today and work with him. Number two, on the issue of demos yesterday, and again, this is very important, Sam. You saw protesters taunting the police that this tear gas is not sweet enough. This tear gas is not pungent enough. We want the right tear gas. This is what happened in Kisumu. This is what happened in Maseno. So you go to the demonstrations, and if there's no tear gas, you cry for tear gas. If you are given tear gas, you cry this is too pungent or less pungent. Let's agree that, and you know, Sam, 20th of March, what was the magic about 20th of March? The magic was that there was demos in Tunisia, Nigeria, and South Africa. There was nothing magical about 20th. And you saw what happened in South Africa yesterday. Guys were at picket lines. Guys were on the roads, protecting the road infrastructure, but being able to pass across their message very peacefully, learning from the best. Mm-hmm. So I believe that we can actually demonstrate and present our petitions the right manner. We don't have to bring inside shows. I was also here when we came to Parliament through a nomination in 2017. Midway, he left his party leader, joined another formation, was paid so much money by that side that he says pays money, because that's the only way you know that money is paid. Because he believes that every time someone moves, they have to be paid money. He left his party leader to go another way, went another side when Uhuru was purging these people. And by the way, so it's always very difficult when the shoe is on the other foot. Let's work for this country in oneness.
Okay.
Because I wanted just to finish.
No, I want
to finish this, Sam. This is very important. Let me just make this point, Sam, please. That in Kisumu, my heart goes out to business owners in Kisumu. You know, the Imperial Hotel, which is now Sarova, has just been opened after huge renovation. It was not working for almost 2-3 years since COVID. The owners have put so much money in it. Protesters went and broke the windows there. KCB Bank in Kisumu, there's a bar called Pit Stop, which they claim Jalang was interested in. As in, protesters going to a place saying that these are not our properties. This KCB is owned by government, we shall bring it down. It is the height of anarchy and hooliganism that we must speak against. Even protesters, my friend also here has not talked about it. Let's tell our protesters that it's good to protest, but it's good to protest peacefully. We can't be destroying our property and hope that we're going to get in one. And finally, on the matter of protests yesterday in Nairobi, this is supposed national protest. Why are you taking them to Luo zones in Mathare and Juja Road and Kibra? What are you trying to tell the country? Thank you, Sam.
You know, Honorable Ochieng, I'm sure you watched what happened leading to the change of route. There was an attempt to get to the city, then the motorcade went to a different direction.
They were told which routes they could use.
Which ones?
They knew the routes. I mentioned them to you. Did you see anybody using Ngong Road or Langata Road or Mombasa Road? None. What they wanted was to access places where they had been told these are no-go zones.